Hey guys, it's me, AJ Alexandra. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Yes, it's a little different in here. We are actually in my kitchen today, so we are doing something completely new. I'm interested in the world of like baking so much. Like I got the cakes now, the cupcakes, the cookies, the pies. I feel comfortable there. But this whole baking bread from scratch is really a challenge for me. But let me give you some background on why bread. Okay, so I recently moved from California to New York, and when I moved here, I left, of course, all my favorite bread brands in California and all my favorite bakeries. And when I say New York, guys, I don't mean New York City, the state of New York. So it's really different here. I wish I was in New York City. But anyways, aside from that, it snows a lot here, it rains a lot, so that means that the supply drops here, and sometimes when you go to the market you don't find the freshest selection, or you know, it's just not really what you're looking for sometimes. So, and let's not even forget, like if it snows, that also means that deliveries are pretty much at a standstill because it snows really bad sometimes in New York. So if you don't know how to make certain things, you're kind of on your own till the stores open back up. So I decided, you know what, I want to figure out how to make my own bread. For one, I am tired of not being able to find what I like. Two, I'm the girl that buys the bread that has a hole in it. I don't know what it is. I always flock to that loaf of bread. It's like, it'll be hundreds of loaves, right? I will zoom in on the one that has a hole, and I'm just like, oh my god. I get home and I have to throw it away because it's no good at that time. And yeah, not even just to stop with bread, you guys. Like I will literally buy the bottles of water that have a leak. I'm like, how did this happen? Came all the way home and I end up having water that has holes in it and it's like leaking everywhere. Just the other day, I bought a laundry detergent that was open. When I got home, my whole trunk was filled and was covered in laundry detergent. So yeah, like I'm just like, you know what, I've had enough of like these little ups and downs with this bread and different things. Like I'm going to stop being so reliant on these markets and I'm going to do things myself. So go ahead, you guys, and call me Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker's been done, that's taken. Just call me Bougie Betty. Okay, y'all, let's get started. Okay guys, so let's jump into the supplies that we are using. On the left, I have my KitchenAid Artisan stand mixer. It has the hook attachment because from the research that I've seen and read, the hook attachment is what you use for making bread. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm trying. In the middle, I have this cute little Dutch oven that I picked up from Walmart. It's the Pioneer Woman brand, and it's round, so I think I can make one of those cute like round shape artisan bread rolls. Yeah, one of those. To the right, I have my Le Creuset 9-quart, but I think that one is actually going to be too big for making bread. It probably will work really great, but I think it might just be too big and I don't want to mess up in something so big. And then I also have this like regular metal tin that I picked up from HomeGoods. So now that we have all of the supplies out of the way, let's dig into all the ingredients that we'll need. It's actually pretty easy ingredients wise. Like the only thing I had to buy was the yeast. So we might as well just jump on in. 8 cups of all-purpose flour. I did sift it a little bit, but the recipe does not call for sifting. 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm using kosher salt. 1.5 tablespoons of yeast right here. 1/4 cup of honey. 3.5 cups of water. I did warm it just a little bit since I'm adding my yeast into it. And then also 2 tablespoons of butter, which I have right here. I'll melt that close to the end, and then as my bread finishes baking, I'm going to just brush that right on the top. So let's start the preparation to get this bread going. I want to add my yeast to my water, just like this. And you will mix just to get this yeast activated. And I hear once you start to see that it's bubbling, that means that your yeast is alive. So I got that mixed up. You want to let your yeast and the water kind of marry a little bit, so you'll let that sit for about 5 minutes. Of course, we've made sure that our hands are clean and that our kitchen is clean at this time because we are sharing this with other people. So after your yeast has set about 5 minutes, it will start to bubble. I'll just put that off to the side. Now we want to start adding our dry ingredients into the mixer. So we want to add all the dry stuff. So now I'll add my salt. When you add your salt in, you want to kind of mix it up a little bit. And then let's start adding the flour and salt mixture to our mixture. To our mixer. Just going to kind of just pour it in there. Let's mix all that in. Get that into our mixer. My mixer is ready to go. I'm just going to add water a cup at a time to my mixer, and I'm going to keep it on a low speed. Not too crazy, just a little bit at a time. Letting your mixer do all of the work. Of course, you could do this by hand, I'm sure, but I am letting my mixer work because this is what I paid for. I never like to turn my KitchenAid up super high. I like to baby it, but I mean, hey, you could go as fast as you want, I'm sure. It's really starting to come together. Let this mix about 8 to 10 minutes from what the recipe says. Let's go ahead and add the honey in as well. Look at that honey. Guys, here's my bread mixture. It's nice and sticky because I added honey to give it like a sweeter taste. And let's just go ahead and dust some flour here. Now we are just going to knead this dough and get it ready to rise. So now this is where I don't know what I'm doing for sure. This is definitely new to me. So what I'm going to do first is like separate it. It will make 2 loaves, so you just kind of want to stretch it and get all these air bubbles out. So you want to just keep on stretching out your dough, mixing it up. If it's too sticky still, don't forget you can add more flour. So here's my bread. Once I gave it that workout and stretched it and all that good stuff and kneaded it to the best of my ability that I knew how, I am going to put it in these 2 glass bowls and let it rise for about an hour because it should double in size, hopefully, if I did it right. So I'm just going to spray a little cooking spray into my mixing bowls. It's actually from Dollar Tree, by the way. It's coconut cooking spray, naturally light. So I'm just putting 1 each right on in. And then I'll cover it with a towel. Just like that. The time has come. It's been well over an hour and like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. I just wanted to give it some extra time. So let's see if this bread has risen to the occasion, and let's see if we will be able to bake it. Let's zoom on in and see what we have. I'm excited. Here's the first one. Oh wow, more than doubled, right? It was just a small, look at that. All right, so we got 1 loaf right there. Okay, we are ready for business, you guys. Time to open up this bakery right here. So I hear you're supposed to like smash it and like work with it a little bit more here in this step, so let's go to that. By the way, my oven is already preheated at 375 degrees. So after I'm done shaping my loaf of bread, I will put it in my oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. So here's a surface that I have nice and clean with some flour on it. Ooh. I'll just roll out my loaf right onto it and shape it. Well, it's not even a loaf yet. I'll roll out my dough and shape it a good loaf shape. Put a little flour on top of it to kind of give that artisan look, you guys. Yeah. We're starting with our bread loaf tin first. So I'm going to spray that with some cooking spray. Have a little flour inside. And you see the seam right here on our bread from when we shaped and rolled it. I'm going to put that down. So hopefully it expands and fills this up. So let's go ahead and put this in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Alright, so now we have our second batch. We are doing the same with this one. We are going to just roll this one on out onto our flour mat here. And then we will do the same. Except we don't want to roll this one in the shape of a loaf because we are putting this in our Dutch oven. So again, you're just kind of kneading it the best way you know how, getting all those air bubbles out of it, and you can literally hear the bubbles. How funny. Bread making is kind of satisfying. I would have never guessed, right? So I have my Dutch oven right here to the left. I'm going to spray it a bit. And then I want to add a little bit more flour onto my dough. I want it to have that artisan look for what it's worth. I'll just put it in and put this one in the oven. And I'm going to bake this one with the top on. Guys, whew, I am exhausted. I got the kitchen cleaned up finally. The bread is in the oven. Now I see why people just buy bread. We'll see in about 15 more minutes or so. But I am tired. Okay guys, so I just took my bread out the oven. It's not ready, but I wanted to brush some butter on it. So remember that bread I told you about earlier? You want to take it out, brush it all over. It's melting. Very nice. And then you will put it back in the oven until it starts to get like a golden brown color. Guys, some close-up angles of this yumminess. So yummy. I can't wait to eat this. I read somewhere that you're supposed to turn it over, like upside down, when you're about to cut it. So, let's see. Let's cut off that end. Ooh, this knife cuts so good. Look at that steam coming out. Let's look at that first piece. Oh, wow. Perfect, you guys. I'm so proud of myself. Guys, can we just admire this beauty right here? Who knew? Well, I sure didn't know, but I'm sure people have been doing it for many years. I never knew that you can make bread in a Dutch oven. It is just perfect. Like, it's flaky, it's crunchy, it's crispy, it's soft in the center. Like, everything is just perfect. Like, I would literally buy this. I have purchased bread like this before. It just has that artisan rustic look. Like, I'm not cutting this one tonight because that's just too much bread. But oh my god. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I hope you've enjoyed this video, you guys. It was quite an adventure. I will be back with more videos. We won't just stop here. So hopefully you try something new. Let me know if you make this bread and how yours comes out. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.